told you that we're going to hop into
That's
the
what's my young
PM's
boy.
visit the Canadian summit in Ottawa? It's scratching your head.
Because it's confusing to me.
It
It's real confusing
is
to me.
interesting.
So first of all, for the past number of years,
Yes.
years,
Years.
people have been saying that PM cannot go to Canada. Why can't? And even asking the questions, why can't you go to Canada? Why this? Why that? Always, whenever Canada pops up, it goes back to an allegation and then a whole discussion as to why people think he can't or why people know he can't. I don't know about the knowing part, but
There's something in Eyewitness News, eh?
yeah. So before the summit ran from the 17th, it ends tomorrow, 17th to 19th, right? If my memory serves me right. And it's held in Canada, inviting the heads of CARICOM leaders to attend to talk about a number of issues. I remember earlier that we were given the heads up that something like this was coming. So before the summit started, we saw a story where the NDP was saying, let me read the headline coming from IWN. EUR. Friday expecting PM Gonsalves to attend CARICOM Canada Summit in Ottawa. So from that up until probably Minister 9 this morning, the narrative or the conversation was, why did you send Honorable Christal Peters and not the Prime Minister himself attending? That was the question. That was the conversation. The stories that followed were all that. And what we were planning to ask was, do you think that the NDP is right to bring this up as an argument? Why the PM didn't attend and why the Honorable Christal Peters, who's the foreign minister, attended when other CARICOM leaders were there. And it seems to be a very important summit. Now, lo and behold, there's a story on St. Vincent Times, and the photograph that is used, it can be found on another media house's website. The headline is St. Vincent PM joins Caribbean leaders in Ottawa for Canada CARICOM Summit. St. Vincent's PM, Ralph Gonsalves, is among other Caribbean leaders gathered in Ottawa for the Canada CARICOM Summit. Foreign Minister Christal Peters is also attending the meeting. This AI thing here really working out sometimes.
Welcome to my daily fight.
Right? It says the Canada CARICOM Summit, is where Caribbean leaders are meeting with PM Justin Trudeau of Canada to discuss climate change and Haiti. Canada has been focused on Asia, Europe, and Latin America, but within the last 3 years, Ottawa has pushed to re-engage with CARICOM. Nice, thank you, which represents a region that is home to 16 million people. So I got a little confused. I don't know if you got a little confused by it all. I got a little confused because normally we're told whenever the PM is going here, there, and everywhere, there's a release. There's something that is said. And I'm scrolling through API's Facebook page and I'm not seeing a single thing that speaks to him going to Canada. I scrolled through Office of the Prime Minister, St. Vincent and Grenadines, and the last thing there was 6 days ago, Prime Minister Gonsalves and Chairman of the SVG Reparations Commission, Adrian Odell, are traveling to Colombia. I just said it, SVG Reparations Commission.
His name is Adrian Odell.
Oh, that's what you mean? Could I just say it?
No, because it is interfering. I interfering with you too.
I don't interfere with nobody.
No, oh, you're not finished. Finish.
If you say ODLE, you will say like OTHER, other. You don't say other.
It's Udu.
Well, now
English
I know
is a funny language.
Udal, so it should be double O. Anyways, like poodle. Don't stress me out this morning, man.
I live to stress you out.
I don't like English. I don't like English at all. It's the worst language in the entire world. I don't know who invented it. But anyways, never mind. But yeah, so it's clearly missing from the media that he was going to be present. And I could dig up and I don't think I'm going to find it. Did I miss it? Was it on NBC? Was it somewhere else? Because even if it was, like my brain is saying at this point, if it was that it was said, how could like 100,000 people miss it and still carry on with the same narrative of why he ain't going, you can't go.
Well, politics ain't my strong suit, and I don't argue or discuss politics. But usually, for the past couple of years, whenever something happens and you expect the NDP to have a voice, they usually would not. They would be a very soft voice. But I was reading the story and I was thinking, Friday, our opposition leader, sorry, good day, Godwin Friday, he found his voice because it sounded like he was bluffing the PM.
You call him
Friday
out on
told
bluff?
Vincent, yeah, Friday told Vincent in Toronto that anything else, meaning the PM attending the summit, anything else would be an insult to the Vincentian diaspora and a dereliction of duty. He went on a bit about it. So, like, Eyewitness News has said the opposition leader's comment Sunday might have been a jab at Prime Minister Gonzalez, who has not visited Canada for years, or a Canadian lawyer made an allegation against him in a media interview. Now that has been the talk of the town here in St. Vincent. Prime Minister can't go Canada. You can't expect to see the Prime Minister in Canada. So I feel like the opposition capitalized on that, and the PM said, "Watch this." Watch this.
What you saying? We make mockery of everybody.
And here he is,
Uh,
according to St. Vincent Times. Now, I just asked somebody over at NBC and they said they weren't aware of the Canadian visit. It's not an API.
okay.
So two things happening. Either SVG Times have it wrong, or
No, it's not wrong because the photograph is
And
on
if-
another media host's
and
website,
there it is.
right? It's there.
So we
And
know SVG
far-
Times doesn't have it wrong.
St. Vincent, this boy, this hair of mine. Anyways, but on a point of defense for the opposition leader, it's not that it's not that I don't think that it's a case where he is soft or he doesn't speak of or he's silent about certain issues. But like if you're really not interested in something, you're not gonna hear, because I think he talks about every and anything that concerning Vincentians. But what consumes the media is, for me, the most part is pro ULP and the Prime Minister and the government.
So what does that mean? Does that mean that the media is more government
They're more interested in
influenced,
government stuff.
or the NDP PRO needs to do a better job?
I don't think it's a case where
Because it will be hypocritical of me for me to come down on hospital and say the marketing and the communications department need to do better in introducing certain things and updating the public, but not say, if we're not hearing anything from the NDP in relation to certain issues, or the voice isn't as loud as we would hope, then it's their communications department as well.
maybe to some extent, for the NDP, they can do a little bit more than what they're doing. Of course, you could always improve, but again, it goes back to maybe what people want to hear and what is trending and the stories that people are most so interested in. Maybe the juicier things are coming from the government or the PM, or he just knows how to hold his headlines
And I don't
over
know.
and over and over.
I don't know if you have the answer to this question,
Mm.
but in the story, it also says Friday lived and worked in Canada for years before returning to SVG 2 decades ago and holds a Canadian citizenship. Can you be in the House of Parliament with dual citizenship?
I want to believe yes, but I don't want to say the wrong thing, so I'm just gonna leave that there.
Because I'm wondering if it's a case where you need to be an elected member, or like
He's
you
an
need your
elected member of
government.
parliament.
Your government needs to be in power. More that the government needs to be in power for you to renounce one of your citizenships. But that's something I'm curious about.
So there's the Constitution, and I was quickly skimming through it. Sensationalism.
That is
So
also a
that's probably
factor.
why
Yeah, that's
the
also a factor.
ULP slash government, they're more so in the general media than the NDP. Maybe the NDP needs a couple more headlines. But I don't think it's that they're quiet, because they talk about the issues, they raise them every now and then. But there's so many issues to raise. One time you're going to hear what you want to hear, another time you're not going to hear what you want to hear. And then it is now up to the media houses. Am I going to pick this up as a story? And is this story that I'm going to pick up going to get as much likes, shares, reads? Is this going to sell my paper XYZ? So I don't know. But in terms of influence, though, media influence, can't speak to that. I can't speak for other media houses, but it's something that people have asked from time to time. But it's rather interesting. It's rather interesting that I wonder if this was deliberate. Deliberately did not say, or if it's that, like, I'm just trying to figure out why. Why nobody knew about it. Maybe that's what I'm trying to figure out, why nobody knew about it
Watch
until
this.
after the course. Now you see me, now you don't. No, 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 no. What are we gonna say? What are people going to say? You can't say no. And they've carried on this thing for years.
Yes.
You cannot say no that he's not capable of, because he's proven that he's there. Now, what is going to be the conversation? Or is that gonna just kill itself? Like, so
That's
nationally,
our world boss.
we
Tell
done
them we
with it
bad
now.
anyway. Canada, Toronto, Ottawa.
Boy, I tell you, never a dull moment. Never a dull moment in this place.
But I want to read quickly what the leaders are up to, according to St.
What are
Lucie
they
Times.
doing?
So what is the current situation in Haiti? Well, we know what the current situation in Haiti is.
Not good.
What are the concerns of Caribbean leaders that they hope Canada will push on the international agenda? Caribbean leaders are hoping that Canada will push their concerns, such as the profound threat they face from climate change, higher on the international agenda. They're also seeking Canada's assistance to secure better financing terms from private lenders and multilateral development banks to help them adapt to climate change. Additionally, the worsening security, political, and humanitarian crisis in Haiti will feature in discussions in Ottawa this week. Now, I read a news story earlier this week where the Prime Minister was saying that what is happening. I'm sorry, that was today. The Prime Minister was saying what is happening in Israel, the Israel Hamas situation, is taken away from other serious taking media attention away from other serious issues in the world. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why he felt it so important to show up in Canada. Because you can't publicly come out and make a statement like that and then not show up in Canada to partake in issues happening in Haiti and the climate change issues that we face. And we clearly feeling every day we go outside and we feel like we're cooking.
Somebody had a remote control in the bad mind.
Think it's Russia.
I don't know who it is, but somebody has remote control. Question: is knowing where the prime minister goes a privilege or a right?
I think it should be all right. But no, before the right was since he is on the LIAT board, then we should know how
Him
the
or
flights Simmons
Simmons
and the Grannies, but by extension. I think that was the argument. But I think it should be all right that we know where the prime minister is.
But what is it?
Because if there's
Because
a national disaster and we don't know where the prime minister is, that's worrying. That's cause for concern. What
I
issue
gotta
was
find
there?
out that
The mass shooting.
he wasn't here for
He
the.
wasn't here, but we knew that.
That's what I'm saying. We always know where he's going.
Yeah, I think it's a right and a privilege, honestly.
Because the expectation, because this is what we've been getting, I just don't know if it's a right or a privilege. If it is a right, then that is cause for concern. One, if it is a privilege, then meh, okay, whatever.
Interesting.
Right or privilege?
In the CARICOM, and thanks Reliezer for sharing. In the CARICOM photo, we're not seeing Trudeau. So it's either he was photoshopped or he wasn't present for all the photographs. But why wouldn't he be present for all the photographs?
What are you talking about?
That's odd.
In the what?
That's the CARICOM website. The
But look him
photo.
there.
Trudeau. Not
Who
the
you
PM,
talking?
not the PM, the Prime Minister of Canada, Trudeau.
Oh,
Because he's there in SVG Times. He's right there.
right. So
3
he smack
persons to the
between.
left from the
So
Prime
he
Minister.
fit in after.
You think so?
You see me a smile?
Love that woman. But you think so?
Yeah, yeah. Everybody think different, man. Small scene, man. Small scene.
That's
Anyways,
interesting.
what's the time?
It's we have about a minute to wrap up. But
You know what time it is? Time for me to have one of my favorite drinks. Work finish. What's happening
What's
to
your
you?
favorite drink?
I'm telling you.
so we bring
I
it
find you
up
real
for.
comments now.
So we bring it up for.
Your
If you
comments-
say you want me know, we bring it up for.
It's asking me my business every minute.
You put your
When
business
men-
out there,
men-
and then I ask, and then
I never
comments.
put my business out there. I
Time
said.
for my favorite drink. Why is your drink? There
No.
was a pause.
You buying it to me? Oh,
It's not my business to know your drink.
comments, man. Can't
It's
stand
not-
them.
It's not my business to know
Can't
your drink.
stand nosy people.
It's not my business to know your drink. But if you bring it up, it's public knowledge.
It's not public
Listen,
knowledge.
is it all right?
It's a privilege. So
Or
ask me my
privilege.
business.
So it's a privilege, all right, that the listeners know what your drink is.
That photo has Bahamas in the background, which was held earlier in Bahamas with that photo. I used that photo.
Interesting.
But
Interesting.
oh yeah, if you read the headline too. But another
Mhm.
news site. But we gotta do a bit of digging today. I'm gonna start the digging right now.
So right now it's 9:40 and it's time for our community dateline. We pay some bills and we come right back